If you look at the spec for Unit 28 on website production, if you look at the learning outcomes here, so number 4 there, be able to create websites, which is what we've been working on for the last few weeks. Specifically on number 4, it does talk about, it talks about pseudocode for client-server scripting, but I'm actually going to show you some code you can put up on the server and it will definitely run. The reason why we need to do this, if you look at P5 here, it says create an interactive website, and the key there is interactive. In other words, your website does something when your customer actually fills a form in on a page or something like that. And in fact, I'm sure it says somewhere here, if I just check the spec, I'm sure it says something about, here we are, for P5, learners need to build a multi-page website. Any method of creation can be used, non-specific on software, but it says the website should feature two-way interactivity. Some sort of typo here as well. It says it must be multi-age. I don't quite know what that means, but it says here the website should feature two-way interactivity for you to really get maximum point on this. And so that's what we're going to look at, is two-way interactivity. We're going to create two files which we're going to upload to the server. One's a HTML page like this, a email to HTML, and this is a straightforward page. I'll just talk you through this. You need to pause and type this in yourself, but I'll just talk you through it before I'll let you pause it. HTML, there's a header, the body hasn't got much on it. It's got a H1 title here, it's got a paragraph here, and then it's got this thing called form. And the form is the way that we're going to be able to interact with the server. And this has got two attributes here. It's got a method called post, and there's get and post are the two ways that you can interact. You can go Google and find the difference between them. But we're going to post, and then when it says action here, we're going to run this PHP file called sendmail. Now PHP is just a scripting language, just like JavaScript. The difference is that JavaScript runs on your local machine, PHP runs on the server. That's the difference between the two. So we need to upload these to a server, so the server does the work for us. So when somebody fills in this email form here and clicks on the button to send off the email, it will fire off this program behind the scenes up on the server. Okay, and then what you've got is basically got 4 fields to fill in. We've got an input field here called subject. We have a text area called message, we have another input field called name, and we have another input field called email from. So that's basically what we've got there. Email from, I put as capital F, and then we're going to button at the bottom. And all the button does is got a name of email, type submit, and value submit. That's all it's got. So there's not really much to the form at all. In fact, if I show you the form, let's go back and let me just refresh that. Oops, back, no, didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. Refresh. There we are. So there's really not that much on the form at all. Subject message, your name, your email, and then the submit button at the bottom there. That's all we've got. In fact, let's change this to, I don't know, something like that. Control S and F5. Not right. F5. Oh, just a second, I've got to upload it. Sorry, I'm on the actual server there. Let me just quickly upload that. Net to FTP, choose file. Choose file? Oh, it's over here, sorry. Here it is, email, open. Let's upload that. There we are, it's done. Move that out of the way. Go back over here, F5, and it should. Refresh. There we go. So it's got email me on it. So that's the form. What I'm going to do is just move my cursor out of the way. You probably want to hit pause. I'll be uploading this in high definition. Hit pause and type all that in. Done? Good. Let's go on to sendmail.php. Remember, what happens is when we post this form, it's going to fire off this script here called sendmail.php. And then when you type a PHP file in, is you just do exactly what it's going to be. File, new, you'll set the language to, this time you'll set it to PHP down here, and then type these bits in. This looks pretty frightening, this form, but most of it are just comments from me. All the green bits are comments. The first four bits here are just straightforward. They just basically go and grab the bits off the form that triggered this PHP script. So we go and get from the post a field called subject. We go and get from the post a field called message. We go and get from the post a field called email from, and we go and get from the post a field called name. And those are the names of these 4 bits here: subject, message, email from, and name. And once it gets those, it then sticks them into some variables that PHP can use. So we've got a variable called subject, that would seem to make sense, one called $message, one called $mail from, and one called $name. Now, once you've done that, you just need to build a mail header, and this is the way the email works. It's too long a topic to explain in this clip, but it's pretty straightforward. Just trust me that that's basically what you do, and this will pop up as in your email as who the mail is actually from. Now, having said that, there are some issues with exactly how this is done, and you'll probably find that your average email package thinks it's spam, and it'll stick it in the spam folder, but we'll sort that out later on. This bit here is basically going to be, where do you want this email to go? So customer fills in the email, where do you want the server to send that email off to? I'm going to send it off to this account of mine called build.bongo@rocketmail.com, and then what it basically does is then send it, and the command is just in PHP, is just mail. That's the command, and it basically is going to mail it to subject, the message, and it's going to put in that mail header. And what happens is, if that command works, it then sends back a true. So what we're then going to do is the second thing in this one, we're doing two things in this line here. One is doing sending the mail, and the second thing is that if it's true, it'll set this variable called mail was posted to true. And if that comes back as true, we then got a little if and else thing here. So if mail was posted, that thing's true, it's going to echo on the screen saying we've got your contact information, or else it's going to say oops, this didn't work. That's all the PHP script actually does. It starts at the top here with an opening bracket, a question mark, and then PHP. And then at the bottom it closes with a question mark and closing bracket, and that's pretty well it. What else do I need to point out for you? Oh, if you look at the variables here that it's grabbing from the page, it grabs them in square brackets. I know there's all sorts of different brackets used in web programming, but there we are. That grabs them in square brackets, and it's single quotes on the inside, and each command in PHP, just like in JavaScript, they all end in semicolons. So that should be pretty well everything you need to be able to type that lot in. What you need to do is, I'll just give you a second, you need to pause that, type it all in. Done. Good. Alright, once you've typed it all in, then use your favourite FTP client and upload it. If you're using Net2FTP, just upload both of these to your server, and then what you want to do is go to email.html. And if you go to email.html, which is what I've got here, this is what the form looks like. So if I can type in now subject rubbish message, this is my major test, so there, my name is Bob, and then my email is bob at bobbydoodas.co.uk. I haven't put any checking in here to confirm whether it's a real email or something like that, and that's it. Hit email me, posted it off. Nothing more complex than that. And in fact, if we now look at where have I got, here we are, Rocket Mail, and I think you may find it pops up in either inbox. Let's have a look. I think it'll come up in spam, but let's just have a quick refresh of that. And inbox, oh, let's just click on that. Let's have a look what it's got, and there we are. It's got this is my major test, though, so there it seems to have grabbed up yahoo.com's email. Not quite sure why it's done that. It's probably because it was fictitious and trying to resolve it to a proper email, but that's basically it. That is all that we do for sending emails from the server. I've left it deliberately simple. You can imagine you can now plug this code into one of your web pages, which has got like your headers and footers and columns and so forth, but I want you to have a go at that, and that's your first journey into, for most of you, that'll be your first journey into an interactive website.